What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're going to be having a pretty laid back video just sharing my thoughts on the current state of this game, as well as mainly focusing on the lack of communication from the developers. This is a very difficult video for me to make because I've never really had to make a video like this with Call of Duty because I've never felt this way at this point in the year with a Call of Duty game throughout the entire franchise, and I've been playing multiplayer since COD 4. I love this franchise so much that I've made a living out of making videos from it, and I can normally get past issues with the game. If there's some issues, even if there's some relatively big issues, I can usually get past it because I know it's going to get fixed, I know it's going to change, it's fine, and I'm still really enjoying myself with the rest of the game despite the issues. With every Call of Duty game at launch, I expect issues to be there, and I totally expect that they're going to get worked out, and that's fine, I can get past all that kind of stuff. With COD World War II, I'm not feeling that same hope. I'm not feeling the same way that I've felt in the past years, and this scares me a little bit because, well, this is my job. Now, don't get me wrong, the Call of Duty World War II videos, they're not going anywhere. I still thoroughly enjoy making the videos. I love the process of breaking down mechanics and putting that all together into a video to help you guys improve. Whether I'm enjoying playing the game or not, I still enjoy making those videos, and they're not going anywhere. Having said this, I am starting to lose my motivation to play this game nearly as often as I would like to. This doesn't mean that I never want to play Call of Duty World War II. I'm still enjoying myself from time to time. It's just not the game that I crave playing every single day like I have been for the past 10 years of my life. Even with Infinite Warfare last year, that game got hated on like crazy. I stuck with it because I personally enjoyed it. I loved playing that game. I would get excited to wake up in the morning and be able to play that game for my job. I just loved it. Basically all the way through the life cycle, I enjoyed it. With COD World War II, I try to get past some of the issues, and I can overlook some little issues here and there. But at this point, there are a lot of issues, and my biggest concern is there's a lack of communication currently. Now, in the past with my videos, I've been very vocal about some of the issues I have with this game, some of the changes I'd like to see, and I don't want to make that the main focus of this video, but things like sprint out times, or certain weapon balancing changes, or bugs like the fact that a lot of people can't spawn into a game right away, they're stuck spectating teammates for the first like 10 to 30 seconds of a match, and they always miss their opening routes. That's a pretty big issue. This is just scratching the surface of a lot of the issues that you see thrown around in the community that are very valid issues and valid complaints. Like I said, I'm fairly forgiving when it comes to Call of Duty, but I need to know that there's some hope for some change in the future, and that requires communication from the developers. I'm really losing that hope because it seems like we're just kind of left in the dark arguing amongst ourselves about all the issues in this game. When it comes to something like sprint out times, this is probably my biggest gameplay related issue with the game right now. I feel like sprint out times should be a little bit faster across the board, and they should be in line with what we've seen for the past like 7 years of Call of Duty, or 7 or 8 years of Call of Duty. It's slower on average than all of these years, and I feel like it forces you into a certain playstyle, and it's that one sort of playstyle, and I feel like it limits gameplay overall, and that gets kind of boring. I've adapted to this, but I don't really enjoy playing in that one playstyle that works. Of course though, I realize this is my opinion and my preference, and at the very least, I just want to hear some communication from Sledgehammer about this. I want to know, are they looking into it and potentially looking at changing it in the future? Or have they looked into it and they've decided this is where they want to keep it and they're going to put their foot down, this is where they want their sprint out times? Either way, I would be relieved just to get some sort of communication, some sort of response, so I know what to expect in the future. If they do make that decision that they're putting their foot down and sprint out times are not changing, I want to know about it so I can at least let that hope kind of go and move on to the next issue. As it is right now, I'm still holding out with that little bit of hope, but I'm really starting to lose it now that there's been no mention of it from any official source, and yet it's one of the biggest gameplay related things that's talked about within the most passionate section of the Call of Duty community. These are the people that are on Reddit, on Twitter, and on YouTube talking about your game and trying to find ways to improve it and sharing their opinions on ways that they feel it should be improved. And a very large portion, at least of that community, seems to agree that the game would improve significantly with a sprint out change, and the overall gun balancing and the overall meta and the overall choice in playstyle would improve significantly with this change. At the very least, I just want to see some communication on this matter. Let us know what's going on in the development team, what kind of conversations are happening there. Is there a chance that this is going to change in the somewhat near future, or can we expect this to be the same way it is throughout the entire year? Now that's talking about something that's based on opinions and preferences, and that requires some conversations and actual decision making. What about the things like bugs, the things that are clearly issues with the game that people are having, and relatively major issues enough that we're seeing it pop up on the front page of Reddit constantly? The first one being the spectating glitch at the start of matches. We already mentioned what this is. When you first spawn into the match, you're stuck spectating teammates for a bit. This is a pretty big issue because people are missing out on their opening routes, and that seriously affects the gameplay. Where are you guys at with that? Are you working on it? Are you even aware of this issue? Like, as far as I'm aware, I haven't even seen an acknowledgement of this issue. At least acknowledge it and say, hey, we're aware of it, we're working on it, and we're going to try our best to get it out for the next patch. Or maybe it's a little bit deeper than we thought, it might take a bit longer, but we are working on it. Just give us some assurances that something is happening with this. Same thing goes with the war mode. When the bomb's been planted on the ammo supply or B's retreating, why is the audio playing at absolute maximum volume levels? I'm no programmer, but I feel like that's something you should be able to fix with a hotfix, isn't it? That seems like such a minor, easy thing to fix. But if it isn't, let us know what's taking so long. Let us know when we can expect that issue to be resolved. It's quite annoying, and it could even be a little bit damaging to some people. My ears have been ringing after that a few times. And we've even had a title update since this issue arose, and we still haven't seen a fix for this. I was amazed yesterday when we got that title update and nothing really changed except they removed the Winter Siege event. Even in a title update, how could you not get that little issue resolved? It absolutely blows my mind that things aren't happening and we're also not getting any communication on that. If you're going to be a little bit slow on something and things aren't really working, at least let us know. Give us some hope. Give us some updates on what's going on so that we know that you're at least doing your job and you're working right now. Now, I realize it was the holiday season and I can be relatively forgiving there. Like the developers, they want to spend time with their family, especially after a really busy launch and everything. I get that, but come on, Sledgehammer. We're getting to that point. It's in the new year now. I feel like it's time for either Condry or a community manager, somebody to sit down and write out a full page of just things that you're aware of, things you're working on, what we can expect in the coming weeks or months with this game when it comes to actual updates and stuff, not just DLC, but I want to know what you're working on to make this game better. Without these updates, like I said, I'm losing hope, and I'm one of the biggest Call of Duty fanboys out there. Like I said, I've built a career around this. I'm very forgiving of Call of Duty, and my patience is starting to run thin. Now, by saying that, I'm fully aware that's going to attract some comments that say, oh, just quit your whining and play the game, or quit the game or something. But I really want to see this game succeed. I want to see a solid player base throughout the year. And for this to happen, at least for the hardcore audience, we need better communication. Going off of this, who is the community manager at Sledgehammer? I'm very involved in the community. I've been to the Sledgehammer studio. I still have no idea who the community manager is or who the community managers are. I'm not seeing any real official presence from Sledgehammer aside from the odd tweet from Condry, the odd reply from Condry, which is often really cryptic and also really just joking around a lot of the times. I want to get to some serious issues here. I want to know when you guys are aware of an issue and if you're working on it. Last year, Ashton did a great job with Infinite Warfare. We knew who the community manager was. We knew who we could contact, and whenever she was able to, she would give us some sort of a response. Even if that response was, I don't really have the details on this, but I can tell you that the developer team is aware of this and they're working on it. At the very least, I want to see that kind of communication on a regular basis from somebody at Sledgehammer. I want to know who the community managers are, and I want to see some more presence within the community. So I think I've rambled on enough about that so far. I'd like to know in the comment section below, what do you guys think about everything I've talked about today? Do you feel that we should be getting more communication from Sledgehammer? And what are your biggest issues currently with this game that could potentially be fixed? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.